Hi and welcome to another use case of stateful processing, namely the arbitrary stateful processing, or arbitrary stateful operations if you prefer this term. And here it's more to say that you can do anything you want with your stateful jobs. You don't need to limit yourselves to the windows, to the joins, to the aggregations, or to the things that are provided natively by your data processing framework. With the arbitrary stateful processing, you can really extend it much more further and implement quite complex scenarios, like for example, complex event detection that we will see later in this module. And yeah, remember, there's always a way to define your own logic. Even the complex one, of course, it will involve other things like code readability, maintainability, and your focus should shift on these parts, but technically it's possible to implement them and it's good to know. And arbitrary stateful processing can be anything. So in the state store, you can store anything regarding your input data, and you can also update and create the state entry of any kind. So it can be a sampler list or maybe complex data structures like the data classes in Python or case classes in Scala, POJO objects in Java. And here is an example. So in this example, we want to generate user sessions, so user navigation activity on our website. We have two users, so two sessions in our state store with the information like some technical context with browser, pages, and referral, and we combine it with new data. So technically here we just update the state for the user number 2, and we just add it to the state. Here I'm showing you the example of the full state algorithm, but it can also be incremental one. As I stated previously, it can be literally anything. You can even re-implement your counters if you want, maybe just for the sake of exercise. It's a valid use case for that. And yes, it's just anything. So it's always flexible as well for the state content, but you can also apply different state expiration logic on that, knowing that for the sessions, for example, you may have users that you know that from one region they are more active. You can maybe allocate a more idleness or prolong their session much more than for the users that have usually short living activity. So you can really apply different business rules on this kind of stateful processing. It's much easier to apply here than in other ones because, as I said, here the arbitrary stateful processing requires from you writing the code and expressing your stateful logic explicitly. And of course, when you explicit it, you can do anything you want. And that's all for this lesson. It was quite short, but since it's quite vague term, I cannot give you much more examples or much more precise examples. I hope you will see them in the demo. Thanks for watching and see you in the next lesson.